Who's going to give Islam problems?
Bulk at 170.
Get me at 170. Get me at 170.
We'll get you back on the Maccas.
Nah, look. Again, feel bad for JDM. I feel for him. Obviously, you don't get much better dudes than Jack. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Oh, I didn't plan on it, but my shuttle just got here and I saw him walk. I wanted to tell Habib and Islam both congratulations, man. What they're doing is incredible. Just won a belt, 15 pounds up. I mean, dominantly. It's just him and his team, the work they're doing and the way they're performing is incredible, man. I gotta respect it, you know?
Now, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I want to see Ilia Topuria versus Islam now. I want to see it even more now. Dude, Ilia versus Islam White House. Make it happen, Dana. Make it happen.
Defend this new world title again.
Woo! Donald Trump, let's go. Open the White House. I'm coming.
That would be absolutely tremendous. It was an honor to call your fight. A pleasure to watch. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Islam Makhachev, ladies and gentlemen.
Masterfully handled.
I know this is a moment you've dreamt of for your entire career as long as we've talked to you. How good does it feel to have it happen compared to all your dreams about it?
Oh, I feel so happy. I stay now, try to control, but it's the biggest day in my life and so happy to be double UFC champion in Madison Square Garden, and what I told all fight week is my dream today.
Before the crowd had even left their seats after Islam versus JDM, the MAM world was already exploding with takes, debates, and predictions. Analysts, fighters, and coaches from every corner were weighing in, breaking down tactics, comparing skill sets, and arguing over who really had the upper hand. Some nailed key details, others missed completely, and a few nearly predicted the fight move for move. So let's rewind and revisit what the experts were saying before a single punch was thrown, long before anyone knew the outcome. Alexander Volkanovski had shared some no-nonsense advice for Jack Della Maddalena. He told him to keep the fight in his zone, stay close, apply pressure, and let his striking shine. Volkanovski didn't want Jack overthinking Islam's takedowns or wasting energy worrying about the ground game. His message was simple. Trust your boxing, stay sharp, and let your offense dictate the pace.
His game is to pressure you, be in your face, be effective on the feet. And I love that. You need to do that. That's where you do your best work. Do that. Worry about the takedown when it's there. Obviously with Islam's going to have that better control, but still, you need to be effective on the feet. Last thing you want to do is worry so much on the feet and don't let your hands go. You hear me say this all the time.
Ulyanovsk didn't just view Jack as a solid challenger. He saw him as a genuine threat. He highlighted Jack's raw power, his relentless work rate, and his refusal to slow down even for a moment. When opponents tried to stall or simply survive, Jack would cut off angles, keep firing, and force them into mistakes. Volkanovski said that while a knockout was definitely possible, he wouldn't be surprised if the fight went to the judges, because both men were that tough.
Very, very interesting one. Obviously, I'm going the underdog, going Jack Della Maddalena. Can he get a finish? Of course he can. Of course he can. I think Islam's good enough to survive though when he's gets hurt, grabs something. But Jack does such a great job of, if you're just hanging onto a leg just to stop that, Jack's not the type of guy to just try and win position. He will just turn his hip, grab your hip, turn enough while you're grabbing, just smash, smash, smash. Can you get a reverse from there? Yeah, you can. But can he get the finish? Because he's such a solid and powerful dude. He can as well. So that's interesting. So, decision wins looking pretty good here, but a finish.
While Ulyanovsk focused on Jack's aggression, Michael Bisping took a broader look at the entire matchup. He reminded fans that Islam Makhachev's track record speaks for itself. The man isn't just a wrestler anymore. His striking has evolved, his composure is elite, and his ability to adapt mid-fight is what makes him so hard to beat. Bisping emphasized that this wasn't your typical striker versus grappler showdown. Islam could hold his own in every area, whether it was landing heavy shots or locking in a submission the moment an opening appeared against someone as dangerous as Jack. With that kind of all-around skill set, Islam was a nightmare matchup for anyone.
Jack Della Maddalena on an 18-fight win streak, taking on Islam Makhachev, a man that only has one loss on his record. He got caught by Adriano Martins at the start of his UFC run. His record is 27 wins, 1 loss, 5 knockouts, 13 submissions. The man can strike. Remember, this is billed as a striker versus a grappler or a boxer versus a wrestler. But the man's got submissions and he's got knockouts. Look at what he did to Alexander Volkanovski. Knocked him out with a beautiful head kick. And no one's knocking out Alexander Volkanovski. And he came back after getting knocked out against Topuria and beat Diego Lopez to become the champion again. And the man's flying high. He's a future Hall of Famer. What I'm saying is, Islam Makhachev can strike. He had moments as well against Dustin Poirier, who's one of the best strikers that the lightweight division had in recent memory. So I don't think that even if it's on the feet, it's going to be easy for Jack Della Maddalena. But when you look at the form that Islam Makhachev is on, last time beat Renato Moicano, did it very easily in the first round. Dustin Poirier took him to the 5th round but got the finish. Before that, knocked out Volkanovski with that beautiful head kick. And prior to that, had a really close fight with Alexander Volkanovski. Again, don't let that fool you. Volkanovski is a tremendously talented fighter that was the pound-for-pound #1 at one point. Remember that. However, Jack...
Bisping also looked back at Jack's big win over Belal Muhammad, calling it the perfect momentum builder heading into a championship fight. He praised Jack's footwork, his sharp combinations, and the high-level coaching behind him, especially from Craig Jones and Volkanovski. But even with all that momentum, Bisping believed Islam was operating on an entirely different level. Growing up in the Dagestani grind and training in a room full of world champions had shaped Islam into someone who thrives under pressure. And with Madison Square Garden as the stage, plus Jack defending his title for the first time, the stakes couldn't have been higher. In Bisping's eyes, Islam's experience, discipline, and championship mentality made him the favorite to walk away with the win.
Belal Muhammad. And that's the perfect warm-up fight. I've said this many times, okay, because Belal could be bigger. He might be stronger, but he's not Islam Makhachev. It's a good warm-up. He's got beautiful boxing, probably the best in the UFC. He's got excellent footwork. He's got Craig Jones helping him out in the corner. He's got Alexander Volkanovski flying down to help him out and give him some tips and tricks and secrets of the fights that Volkanovski had with Islam. However, will it be enough? We got to remember, Islam Makhachev was bred for this ever since he was a little boy. There's just something different about him, about his team, about Khabib, about Eagle MMA, about Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, the lineage, the heritage, and just the kind of fighting spirit that these men have. Islam Makhachev has been bred for this moment, and he's been in these kind of big moments before. Remember, this is a super fight going down at Madison Square Garden, and this is Jack Della Maddalena's first title defense. On Instagram last week, I said that Jack was going to win, but now I think about it more. I did an episode of my podcast with Paul Felder, and the more I thought about it, the more I started to think that Islam wins this.
Then Israel Adesanya jumped in with a take that instantly turned heads. He backed Jack Della Maddalena to win by knockout. Adesanya believed Jack's relentless pressure and toughness would force Islam into prolonged stand-up exchanges, where Jack could land clean, damaging shots. He also pointed out that fighters like Dustin Poirier had managed to survive Islam's submission attempts, proving that Islam wasn't untouchable. And after watching Volkanovski push Islam to the brink, Adesanya felt confident that Jack had the power, timing, and composure to shake up the division. His bold confidence in Jack's chances added even more fuel to the fire, splitting opinions across the entire MMA community.
I'm not trying to count Islam out, but I just know Jack. I know that when Jack keeps getting up, it's going to be a problem, and Islam's going to be forced to strike. And when he's forced to strike with Jack, he's going to get hurt. Islam, I think, is the best of the Dagestanis, one of the best fighters in history, one of the most efficient. But when it comes to Jack, like, look, even Dustin's able to get up and like stop his submissions, and Dustin's a fucking gun. And also, I've seen live what Volk can do with Islam when they were in Perth.
Dustin has great boxing, but I still think Jack is on the boxing
levels. And he's touching him, so that's why I know he's gonna hurt Islam. I do think, Islam, I'm not disrespecting. I think Islam will be able to get him down, but for how long? It's not for long. And also, he's gonna get stuffed from the beginning, in the middle, till Jack ends it. In this fight, not just because it's Anzac United, I really think that Jack Della Maddalena has the skills to stifle Islam's game and be able to just put it on the feet and knock him out. Might be second round, might be third.
Dustin the Diamond Poirier gave Islam one of the toughest fights of his career. He made the fight gritty and chaotic, forcing Islam to adjust and operate outside his usual comfort zone. But when the final moments arrived, Makhachev reminded everyone why he's one of the most dangerous finishers in the sport. His submission game is sharper than ever, and that fifth-round finish was proof of just how lethal he's become. Now the spotlight shifts to Islam's next massive challenge, moving up to welterweight to face champion Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322 in Madison Square Garden.
I think Islam Makhachev is a better version of Bilal. I even think it's the striking on the feet, I think it's easier than Bilal because he'll stay in one stance, he's more traditional style. But yeah, he's the pound for pound #1, so it's a tough fight, but I guess we'll just watch all his fights again, make a solid game plan, and then just start working at it. From pretty much now, I'm going to start working on ways to beat him, different ways to get back to my feet, stuff in the takedown, but I'm pretty confident I can get this.
The big question now is whether Islam can handle the size and power of true welterweights. Jumping from 155 to 170 pounds is no small leap. And Jack Della Maddalena isn't just any opponent. He's one of the best boxers in the UFC, known for his precision striking and knockout power. This matchup will push Islam's timing, strength, and defensive skills into completely new territory. But one thing fans admire most about Makhachev is his willingness to take risks. Even heavyweight contender Tom Aspinall praised him for consistently stepping up, even when the circumstances aren't ideal.
But yeah, Islam did what he was supposed to do. Went out there, fought whoever was put in front of him, which is what champion's supposed to do. Fought the guy that the UFC told him to fight, and he got the win. And he's levels above anybody else in that division. He's going to hold the belt for a long, long time, and that is something that I'm very excited for because I'm a massive Islam Makhachev fan.
It turns out Tom Aspinall is a huge supporter of Makhachev. He's repeatedly praised Islam's technical mastery and his calmness under pressure. As someone who began with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu before dominating in MMA, Aspinall notices the finer details in Islam's game that casual fans often overlook. Aspinall's own well-rounded skill set even reflects shades of that same Dagestani discipline, and it wouldn't be surprising to see him deliver an Islam-style performance someday. And even fighters who've clashed with Islam's camp can't help but respect him, Tony Ferguson included.
Makhachev, I'm going to tell you, somebody was telling me, who do you think's a better wrestler? Was it Makhachev or was it Khabib? And I think Makhachev is a better grappler, honestly. I think he's a little bit faster. I think with Khabib, I think he's just a little bit more, not timid of the freestyle that Makhachev presents, but I think Makhachev, he's not going to do so bad at 170. I think he'll be all right.
Tony Ferguson's rivalry with Khabib is legendary. Yet, surprisingly, he's spoken respectfully about Islam's talent. Whether genuinely impressed or just having a bit of fun at Khabib's expense, Tony has never shied away from giving credit where it's due. Many fans point to Islam's dominant win over Charles Oliveira as the fight that finally offered a glimpse of what a Khabib versus Ferguson matchup might have looked like. The result wasn't even close. Islam controlled every moment, leaving fans to wonder if Khabib would have fared any differently. It's one of those unanswered questions that continues to fascinate fight fans.
Makhachev, can he fill the shoes of a George St. Pierre one day? He's amazing. I think right now he's the best pound for pound right now. His last few performances, just amazing. An amazing showcase of heart too, because he had a bad cut on his forehead and Poirier gave him a tough time. I think that fight gonna make Makhachev even better because these are the fight that make you grow. In terms of skill, Makhachev right now is the best fighter, but that doesn't mean if you're the best that you always win.
When legends speak, people listen, and Georges St. Pierre, one of the all-time greats, has nothing but respect for Makhachev. GSP has praised Islam's balance of wrestling, striking, and mental composure, calling him one of the most complete athletes in the sport today. Michael Chandler, another elite fighter, shares that view, even without having faced him in the octagon. Chandler says it's clear that Islam operates at a championship level few ever reach.
Is the best lightweight in the world by far with his performances. And I have no problem saying that. His hands are getting better. He just outstruck Poirier. He can outgrapple anybody. And I think he truly is doing it for more. He's got something deeper that he's fighting for. He's fighting for an entire village, an entire portion of the country, an entire religion, and an entire legacy for himself and also Khabib and Khabib's fight.
All in all, the experts were divided in their predictions, but united in one belief. This fight was going to be a war. Whether it was Islam's composure and championship experience, or Jack's explosive striking and relentless pressure, neither man was expected to back down. The result was a showdown so evenly matched that fans knew they were about to witness something truly special. The kind of fight people would still be talking about long after the lights went out at Madison Square Garden.